Hi, this is Micah Clark with the American Family Association of Indiana, again with our weekly video. I believe this is the fourth or fifth week of the session. I'm starting to lose track. We are here in early February where the halfway point has happened, which is that the bills have moved from one chamber to another starting next week. All the Senate bills that are alive that have passed by the Senate are in the House. All the live House bills that were passed are now in the Senate. So if you were tracking a bill on the website and you look at the bill history or the bill actions and it didn't get a committee hearing or a final vote, the bill is dead. We're only dealing now with bills that have passed one chamber. So again, all House bills, if I mention a House bill, they're being heard before the Senate now. If I happen to mention a Senate bill, you'll want to call your House member. So when we mention, for example, House Bill 1134, which I'm going to talk about on education, you'll want to call your state senator. I'll talk about two bills real quick that are similar. And they're connected to the education issue. I did not know about one until just recently, but I was watching the Senate version. That's Senate Bill 83. I've mentioned this to you before. Senate Bill 83 simply requires that public school boards and charter school boards allow public comment at their meetings. They can structure however it wants. They can limit it to 3 minutes if they like, but they cannot deny the public from speaking, parents from speaking at school boards. And that bill passed with, I think, 45 votes on Senate Bill 83 out of 50 in the Senate. And then the House version, which I had not mentioned before, is House Bill 1130, which is now in the Senate. Again, Senate Bill 83 is now in the House. House Bill 1130 also requires public schools to allow public comment of parents and taxpayers. That passed 92-1. There's slight differences between the two regarding COVID or emergencies and electronic meetings, allowing public input into strange situations like we've had with COVID. Both are good bills. Now, it's interesting, when the legislature passes two bills that are nearly identical, people often ask, well, what do they do? They will at some point probably allow one of these two bills to die, and then they will combine it with the other, or they'll choose one of the two bills. The House and Senate will get together and say, we've got these two bills that are almost identical. What do we do? So either House Bill 1130 or Senate Bill 83, if they pass, will go to the governor at some point. And both, again, require allowing public comment at school boards, which is always a good thing. School boards are elected, and their voters need to be able to hear from them. So the other bill that we've talked about, if you saw my email or my national email this week on Wednesday, we did an alert about House Bill 1134. This is the critical race theory bill, the divisive concepts bill that's gotten so much attention in Indiana. It prevents schools from teaching divisive concepts that pit kids against each other, or that teach America is a racist nation and fatally flawed, things that parents do not like. Repeated polls nationally, and I've been told Indiana polls as well, show the public does not want this, by 65 to 70% opposition to these divisive concepts. So there's strong support for House Bill 1134 among the public, but the legislators don't often, I think, know that, because you've got a lot of special interest groups hammering this, particularly the teachers' unions. But I appreciate those of you who emailed and called in response to our alert that we sent out Wednesday. I mentioned in that two things that were important. Changes that came at the last minute in the House before it passed the House with slightly over 60 votes. There was an amendment added, taken by voice vote. It was pretty lengthy. I don't know how many legislators knew exactly what was in. But one of the problems with it is it had a $10,000 fine for a parent who sued a school over critical race theory if they lacked evidence, or if they lost. There could be a penalty of up to $10,000 if they had a hostile judge, or if they were simply outgunned by the taxpayer-funded attorneys they'd be taking on with the school. It's possible for a parent to be fined $10,000, whereas the school would only be fined $1,000 if the parent won. It was completely backwards. This is a bill about empowering parents, not punishing them. It's a bill about letting parents know what's going on in the school and giving them some recourse if their kids are being taught harmful concepts and teachings. So on that point, we're making progress. I won't reveal a lot of details, but your calls and your emails are making an impact. I'm hearing from senators on this. I think we're going to see changes in House Bill 1134 on the second issue I mentioned in that email that went out on Wednesday, regards counseling and tightening up parental consent before children are referred to outside counselors or outside psychologists or even outside activist groups such as abortion advocates or other things in the school where a child could be counseled to get an abortion or get involved in the LGBT lifestyle, whatever it may be. This would require parental consent for that. They loosened that up in the House. There's some problems with it. We're working on that. The way it's written right now, it's possible for a school to counsel a parent without the parent's knowledge. We want to tighten that up so that they get prior written informed parental consent. So we're working on that. Your emails and phone calls are making a difference. We're getting good feedback from legislators on that. Keep them coming. Continue to contact your senators in support of House Bill 1134. You can do that at 317-232-9400. Contact your state senator. Encourage them to make positive family-friendly changes that we mentioned in our email. The two changes in our email: remove the $10,000 fine against parents, require prior written informed consent from parents on counseling and outside school referrals. So those two things, call your senator. We want 1134 to pass with those changes, and we expect a hearing on that very soon, perhaps as early as Wednesday of this week. So that's our update. Next week, the legislature will get rolling again with committee hearings, and hope we will get rolling too with the snow in Indiana, get back on our roads, and hope you're all safe. I want to thank you for joining us at American Family Association. I'm Micah Clark. Thank you.